Good afternoon everyone, my name is Muhammad Hazim bin Hamdam, number matric E24A3396 and I from group 15. We'll start our presentation today. I will present an overview of environmental laws and practices in action, a focus on water pollution management and Malaysia EIA system for introduction, and also problem statement. After that, my other group mate will cover for the rest of the presentation. For introduction, we have 5 main things, which is first, environmental challenge in Asian. Rapid industrialization and urbanization are contributing to increasing water pollution across the Asian region. Second is impact on natural resources. The pressure on natural resources, especially water, has intensified, affecting biodiversity and public health. And next is Malaysia EIA system. Malaysia implemented the Environmental Impact Assessment, which is EIA system, in 1974 under the Environmental Quality Act to address environmental degradation. After that, the EIA's role in managing pollution. EIA is a tool to identify, assess, and mitigate the environmental impacts of projects and particularly focusing on water pollution. Lastly, needs for comparison. Comparing Malaysia EIA system with other Asian countries can reveal opportunities for improving water pollution management through more robust enforcement, monitoring, and public participation. For Asian countries are facing significant water pollution challenge due to industrialization and urban expansion. In Malaysia, the Environmental Impact Assessment EIA system, established in 1974, was designed to address this concern, while it helps assess the mitigate environmental impacts, especially on water resources. Malaysia continues to experience water pollution. By comparing Malaysia EIA system with those of other Asian countries, we can identify ways to strengthen enforcement, monitoring, and public participation to better manage water pollution. For the problem statement, we also have 5 main things in problem statement. First thing first is growing water pollution. Water pollution is a pressing issue in aviation, exacerbated by industrial, agriculture, and urban expansion. Second, we have Malaysia legal framework. While Malaysia EIA system is legally established, in its effectiveness in controlling water pollution has been questioned due to gaps in enforcement. Next, we have inconsistent enforcement. Even with established laws, Malaysia continue to experience water pollution incidents, suggesting weakness in enforcement and monitoring. Fourth, we have public participation challenge. Malaysia public participation mechanism in the EIA process have been criticized for being inadequate, impacting transparency and accountability. Lastly, we have regional best practices. By examining the EIA practices of neighboring Asian countries, this study aims to identify areas where Malaysia can improve, particularly in controlling water pollution. Water pollution in Asia continues to grow, driven by industrial and urban activities. Despite Malaysia's strong legal framework for EIA, the country still faces frequent water pollution incidents, indicating gaps in enforcement and monitoring. The EIA's process also lacks sufficient public participation, which reduces transparency. By learning from the EIA practices of other Asian countries, we can identify areas for Malaysia to improve in controlling water pollution and enhancing enforcement. Thank you, that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening. Let's move on to the next part.
I will talk about objective. Our study aim to first evolve how EIA help control water pollution in Malaysia and ASEAN. Second, analyze the relevant law and regulation governing water pollution under EIA in ASEAN country. Third, compare Malaysian EIA approach with its regional counterpart. Finally, we will propose recommendation to improve Malaysian EIA process based on the best practice from ASEAN countries.
Environmental Impact Assessment EIA Asian country. EIA means that tool to assess environmental impact before projects begin. All Asian countries use EIA, but the systems are different. For Malaysia, government by Environmental Quality Act 1974, which is have two stage, preliminary and detailed EIA, and the issues are with public involvement and full monitoring. Best practice from ASEAN is Philippines, which is from public participation. Thailand, clear process and expert review. Vietnam, update law but with enforcement. The challenge is Malaysia can improve by encourage public input, and the improvement that Malaysia can do is clarifying procedure and also enforcing rules after approval.
Assalamualaikum. For methodology, we applied several approaches to collect accurate and relevant information for our study. Firstly, we conduct online research by referring to official government website, including the Department of Environmental Malaysia and AIA portal for ASEAN and AIA portal for ASEAN countries such as Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia and Singapore. This source provide us with important detail about EIA procedure and how water pollution is managed in each country. In addition, we use academic database such as Science Direct, JSTOR and Google Scholar to find peer review article. These article help us to understand how the different implement the AIA system and what challenge they face, particularly in enforcing water pollution control. Lastly, we selected for ASEAN countries such as Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia and Singapore. For comparison with Malaysia, these countries were chosen because they have diverse AIA system and offer interesting insight that we could use to evolve and suggest improvement for Malaysian own framework. Thank you.
Okay, next is EIA role in water pollution control for Malaysian framework. Malaysian's EIA system is mandated by Environmental Quality Act 1970, ensuring a structured approach to pollution control. It effectively identifies pollution sources, mandate mitigation and enforce compliance with influent discharge limit. Additionally, public consultation provide a transparency, allowing stakeholders to participate in decision making. Next is for Asian regional approach. Across Asian nations have established EIA system with screening and monitoring mechanism. Some countries have integrated strategic environmental assessment to expand environmental evolution beyond individual project. A key trend is regional collaboration focusing on capacity development and harmonized regulation for more effective environmental governance. I will give a quick snapshot of how Asian countries handle their industrial water pollution by focusing on law and their enforcement. First, Malaysian 1974 Environmental Quality Act set a strict standard with mandatory monitoring and heavy fine. It's led by the Department of Environment, TOE. Second, Thailand 1992 law rely on joint enforcement by key departments, but consistency remain a challenge. Next is Vietnam. Vietnam is modernized with update standard and better compliance through their policy reforms. For Indonesian's law are sound, but decentralized enforcement create a regional disparities. Last but not least is Singapore. Singapore enforce strict law and champion wastewater reuse and also a regional sustainability model. Okay, next let's move to comparative analysis of EIA implementation. First of all, let's start with Malaysian, which is Malaysian boasts a well-established legal framework ensuring comprehensive oversight. The Department of Environment, TOE, play a crucial role in enforcing regulation. Additionally, public participation mechanism allow a stakeholder to contribute to environmental decision. However, challenges remain enforcement consistency, and addressing a persistent pollution sources need attention. Let's move to our neighbor. We see a very approach for for selected Asian country, Indonesian decentralized enforcement but struggle with their resources constraints. For the Thailand, enforcement varies and public participation is limited. For the Singapore, highly advanced monitoring and strict regulatory enforcement. Same goes with the Vietnam. Malaysian EIA framework is organized and effective, but there is always room for improvement. Strengthening enforcement mechanism, increasing transparency, and integrate cutting-edge monitoring system will enhance a long-term sustainability. Okay, let's move to the improving Malaysian water pollution management. First is stronger inter-agency coordination, which is government bodies must collaborate for seamless enforcement. Second, greater public participation, like transparency and community involvement drive accountability. Next is scaling a best practice, BMPs. It's because green infrastructure reduce pollution at the sources. 4 is real-time monitoring, which is sensor provide instant data for rapid responses. Lastly, zero discharge policies, ZDPs.
I want to talk about EIA. EIA is so important, but not the only solutions. Environmental laws like EIA are only effective when enforced firmly and consistently. Malaysia still face key challenges such as enforcement remain weak and monitoring is not continuous, limited community and stakeholder involvement. And next point is neighboring countries as a benchmark, such as Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam demonstrate the best practice in transparency, interagency collaborations and public participation. And then continuous improvement is so essential. Malaysia need to adapt and upgrade to EIA system to be more efficient and responsive to current challenge. And next point is regional cooperation is key to success. Water pollution knows no border and it needs collective and action across ASEAN countries. Next, clean water is a legacy for the future. Protecting water resources is a shared responsibility requiring commitment from government, industry and the public. That's all. Thank you.